Are you seeing that the insurance companies have separated it out into a hurricane and then a flood, where the flood's not covered but the hurricane is? I know there have been a lot. Yeah, I know that there's been a lot of stories about insurance claims that are not going paid.
They had what was that, State Farm that pulled out of Mississippi? That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yet you have people that's paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for years. And what was the last storm we had? It was like 30, 40 years ago. The last biggest one.
Yeah, the Camille was a really big one in the 60s.
Something like that. And all these people are paying all this money for
all
insurance.
Those years.
And then a storm comes through and you're like, you want to cut them off.
Yeah.
Or you want to take their money, but...
And nobody does anything. I know that...
Bureaucratic red tape.
Yeah. In Mississippi, that was wiped out by a 30-foot wall of water that went through there. But they were saying that wasn't hurricane damage. I don't understand. Like, the only thing that's damaged by hurricane is wind.
The only thing is that with Mississippi got more money than the state, Louisiana, like New Orleans, Everything here was pretty much underwater.
Yeah. But
I don't want to get into politics, but you can see the Republican Democrat state.
Trent Lott's Revels needed to be rebuilt.
I hate to say it, but it's, because like I said, I usually don't like to get into politics, but when you think about it and see what's happening, they lost casinos over there.
Yeah.
People lost homes, everything that they had over here.
Yeah.
And half these people here really didn't have anything.
To begin with, they were.
Right.
It's going to take 10 times longer for them to build back what they have.
Right, and then the people who did have something, they want to return back, but they can't afford it. And then some of them are like, we found better lives. North Carolina, Texas,
Seattle, Washington is another big one.
The kids are in good schools.
And Houston and Atlanta too seem to really be beneficiaries, because...
I kind of figure those being like twin cities. Like New Orleans and Atlanta, kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So, but my thing is I would like to see people come back. But some people just can't afford it.
They can't afford it.
And this city will continue to suffer.
For their absence.
Yeah. I mean, not saying that I can understand with people asking for help, legitimate people asking, for help for things and stuff like that there. And that's why I believe those tax dollars are there for, to help people.
Right.
And why are you holding it?
Risk pooling. You know what it is? It's risk pooling.
Yeah.
You put it all into a kitty, you watch it grow, and then when time comes, when people are hurting, you gotta open up the floodgates, so to speak, and you gotta start writing checks. Otherwise, you have these kind of problems.
Yeah. And now, I'm gonna say this as far as on the downside of the city, and is a lot of people that left. No, that's getting some stuff repaired. You got to start from the top and work your way down. The thing. I survived. Yeah. Her Katrina shirt. The thing is that a lot of people that left here and went to other cities, and I feel bad for some of these other cities because they open up their arms to a lot of people. And some of these people here just did like that to them. Screw you. Cussed them out when people was trying to help them. Took advantage of people's money when FEMA was trying to give some people money. It was crazy. That's the part that I hate to talk about, but it's reality. Yeah,
it is reality because something? A lot of people feel like they're alone. There's no help. There's really no social net. So greed is something that's natural, I think, in America. So when a situation like this happens, everybody just, sometimes the worst does come out. Because there's no feeling like, oh, okay, I'll be all right.
I think there's been a lot of salty taste that was left in a lot of these cities' mouths. Because they're like,
Yeah.
I think it would be like if a storm, we're going into hurricane season in another, month? I think if another Katrina came through, I don't think it would be open arms.
You don't
with
think
some
it
of
would be
these
open
other
arms
cities.
again? Especially like
people would be
Houston,
like-
Atlanta.
There's no way, because a lot of people got screwed out of money. Hotel rooms were damaged when it was, given like the, the hotel
Yeah, the
stuff,
free board.
And people, we had FEMA trailers, either set them on fire or, it's like, I don't understand. Maybe because I'm a Yankee or something, I don't know, born and raised in Chicago, we think different, but when it boils down to it, New Orleans is a place of its own. You have your very good people that are down here that try to come back, try to help, try to, do things, but then you also have your bad. That's here, that's trying to screw up and trying to take advantage.
I mean, opportunists. I mean, that's everywhere. It's just when a storm like this comes through that it exposes all that darkness and, venality that exists. And I think one of the reasons that it might have been so bad in New Orleans because there was a lot of poverty here before Katrina, but also because everybody felt so alone and so abandoned.
It was very, very
difficult. That must have been difficult to accept as a person.
It was difficult because
that there was no cavalry.
Yeah, and then you were like, okay, what am I gonna do? And
then
you
the
see
panic.
people we were very fortunate enough to, have our own food and stuff like that to get us by, but there was literally people that's just dying.
Yeah, and
you see the bodies laying on the street, and it's like that. I can't really talk about that. It just bothers me.
That's such a horrible experience.
It was unnecessary.
It was unconscionable. It was unconscionable.
And I would never wish that on anybody.
Yeah, and something, as an American, I feel that it's not just the government. I think that we all allowed that to happen in some sense because we've just been, set it and forget it with our government. We haven't been being active enough in our communities everywhere from Maine to California. And a lot of what I'm doing has a lot to do with Katrina because no more Katrinas.
I hope not.
No more.
So you're still doing business, though, right?
Yeah, we're still doing it a little bit. It went from 30 employees now to myself and somebody else.
Okay.
So.
And so you do printing. You do all types. You do menus as well, or business cards, menus. 30 people. And so where are those 30 people? Do you have any idea?
Houston.
They're all in Houston.
They moved on with their lives.
That must be so hard because
you can't afford them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like.
Can we look in the back?
Sure.
I'd love to see that.